Good morning. I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today, my special guest is Mr. Matthew Fortenberry. Welcome, Matthew.
Hello, thank you.
Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Woodville originally and ended up here in Beaumont about 24 years ago, and been with the city and with the animal control department ever since.
You know, every person that I'm interviewing that come from out of town, look, once they get here, they can't leave.
Can't leave. they got hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the animal care division.
Well, a long time ago, we had the old mindset of animal control. It's just control the animals and just do something with them. Now we're more of let's take care of them. So we changed the name back in the end of January, and it's now the Animal Care Division. And what that does is incorporates everything related to the animals, and not only helping the public with nuisance problems, but also once we get those animals in the shelter, we're giving them the best care that they can get, whether it's through vaccinations, spay and neutering, and then ultimately trying to find homes for them.
Wow. So you know, normally when I think of animal control, I'm thinking of a stray dog.
Right.
You know, come get this dog out of my neighborhood. You know, it's bothering me.
Right.
But it's more than that.
Exactly. Now that the stray dog in the neighborhood, that still is a problem. It's a very real problem, and we're trying to address that. But also, once we get that problem off the street, well, then we got the problem of what do we do with it? So while it's being housed in the shelter, we try to give it the best care it can get, whether it's through vaccinations or health care, and then stuff like walking animals, just simple things, beds, toys, while it's in the shelter.
Because I've seen that you deal with horses and things of that sort.
Right.
You know, when there's a malnutrition horse
That
right. somebody is not taking care of. Is that your department that go in and rescue that horse?
It definitely is. You know, we have 4 officers. Okay, we have four officers that are on the streets all the time, and they do anything from the stray dog that we talked about to animal cruelty investigations. And most of our officers are becoming state certified in animal cruelty, state certified cruelty investigators. And we also have one that is one course away from being a national certified animal cruelty investigator. And we look at the malnourished animals, the starving horses, that type thing, all the way up to torturing an animal or dog fighting, rooster fighting, that type thing.
Now you said y'all got to go get state certified?
well, our officers are animal control certified through the state. But they also, if they choose to do this, they can be state certified in animal cruelty investigations.
Wow.
And all of our officers are in the process of doing that. We have 4 officers on the street. 2 are state certified, and 3 if you include myself. But 2 are state certified, and 2 are in the process of becoming certified. And then 1 is also almost nationally certified.
Wow. Now, Matthew, this is the summertime.
Yes.
And I mean, we see a lot of different animals that are out and about, and so tell us what does the community need to do if they see a stray animal?
Well, if you see a stray animal, the best thing to do is call our 311 system, and they will dispatch an officer out to see if they can address the problem and the issue, and they will. And the officer will, if they think that there's an owner for that animal, they'll try to make contact with the owner and try to resolve that problem, maybe through education. And if it's just a nuisance animal, then yes, they're going to definitely try to apprehend it and bring it to the shelter to get it off the streets.
Now, if there is a stray animal and there's no owner for it, you bring them into to the animal shelter,
right?
And then somebody in the community can adopt that animal.
That's correct. We'll hold it. We have to hold the animal for 3 working days or 72 hours, and that's to give the owner a chance to come and claim it. Now, if no one shows up after that time and we assess its behavior, and if it's adoptable, it will be available for adoption. and anyone is welcome to come in and try to give it a home.
Well, I don't think my wife want a dog or a cat or anything like that.
Well, we have rabbits and snakes too.
What'd you say, rabbits and snakes?
Rabbits and snakes. We actually, right now, we have a rabbit in the shelter. Someone actually had turned it in.
Okay. I
Now,
was going to say they released a rabbit into the...
well, we do. We get stray rabbits and chickens, horses, all, you name it.
Wow.
But we also have a ball python. It's available for adoption, and right now we have 4 pending applications for that.
That is something else.
It is.
So they released a python out into the community?
Well, used to, probably about 10 years ago, we would see a lot of loose snakes like that. It was kind of, back then, it was kind of a fad, the hip thing to go and purchase a python or boa constrictor for a pet. Well, and then they started growing, and then they didn't know what to do with it, so they just go turn it out in the street. Well, they're not native snakes, so they don't fare that well out alone. So we would be called to come get the snake and then try to find it a new home.
Now, is there other points of interest that the animal care services handle?
Well, there's all kinds of things, and one thing, went back to the animal cruelty part, is dogs left in hot cars in the summertime.
Ooh, yeah.
We, starting right now, we've had several cases the past few weeks where, for some reason, people take their animals with them, their dogs specifically, while they're either going to a restaurant to eat, or to the mall even, or to Academy. The Academy seems to be a hot spot. But we encourage people not to do that. The reason why is it can get, even if the temperature is, say, 85 degrees outside.
It can be over 100 degrees.
It can be over 100 degrees in the car. And that's one of the things is we stress, along with the Department of Public Safety, is don't leave your children and don't leave your animals in the cars. Because once it gets up over that 100 degrees you're talking about, it's only a matter of minutes before they start feeling heat stroke symptoms, and ultimately they could die from that.
So now if a person sees that an animal is in the car,
right,
do they call the animal care services?
If it's an emergency and they think that the animal is about to succumb, they can go ahead and call the police department, and the police department will send one of their units along with ours out there. A lot of times the fire department may be the first one on the scene as well, and we'll get the animal out of the car somehow.
Now, and that's something that we were talking about prior to us, beginning today, is that you're now under the police department banner.
Well, we were for a while. Right now, we're with the executive department, so we're kind of with the city manager. So we're right up there, kind of at the top, I guess you can say. But no, we work hand in hand with the police department. So if we need assistance that's law enforcement related, which a lot of our stuff that we do is law enforcement related.
Right.
We're enforcing the animal laws. Then we will. They're quick to respond to help us, and we in return are quick to help them. A lot of times, and this is kind of off that subject, but a lot of times narcotics may be going to do a raid or something, and we have to assist them. There may be a vicious dog at the doorway, and they need that dog secure before they can get into the house. So we help them in that regard. Okay,
Robert, so if somebody in our community needs to contact your department, how can they go about contacting your department?
Well, there's two ways. If you need a call for service, if you need help with an animal at your house or something picked up, dead animal in the street, something like that, call 311, and 311 will dispatch that out or send the call over to dispatch center so that it can be dispatched out appropriately. Now, if you're needing to adopt an animal or having adoption-related question answered, then you can call our office directly, and that number is 838-3304.
Wonderful. Well, listen, I want to thank Robert for coming to share with us, these interesting things about the animal care services here in our neighborhood. And listen, if you have a challenge, give them a call. If you see a stray animal, give them a call. If you see an animal being in distress, give them a call. And so I want to thank you for joining us, and I want to thank you for joining us today on What's Happening in Our Neighborhood, and we will see you next time on our broadcast.